Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming. So today we're back in Watch Dogs region. I'm in the north side of London, sort of to the west of King's Cross Station. It's almost as far north as you can get in the game map in Watch Dogs region anyway. So firstly, you can probably notice if you've watched this channel for any amount of time, I used to make lots of videos about gaming in general, different issues. And I think I mentioned before once, I kind of decided to cut back on that a lot because too many things in gaming were woke, rubbish game related, and they all kind of interlinked with each other, and I felt that a lot of it had already been said. If you're talking about one game being like that, you end up talking about another game like that, and it becomes repetitive. And also, to be honest, it was kind of depressing to kind of keep seeing all these things and how gaming was going. So I kind of cut back on that a lot, and I decided to only make videos about gaming related news when there was something that really caught my attention. It doesn't have to be a big story, it can be anything, but I just decided to only make videos about gaming related news when it was something that really stood out to me. So today I'm going to talk about Star Citizen. Now, last time I mentioned this game, I got criticised by a few people because they said, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't understand all the things in the game, and that's true, I don't. And I get people defend games they like. You know, I love Watch Dogs Legion. In fact, I had an argument with one of my friends and I was like, no, it's great, you should try. So I get why people defend games they like, or they're invested in content-wise, or in they've invested in with money. So I get that. So I'm not suggesting I'm an expert on Star Citizen. The first time I made the video, it was just an observation. So I make every observation on this channel as a kind of layman, just someone who's, you know, interested in gaming. So for what it's worth, something I saw on quite a few different channels in the last few days was that Star Citizen is charging money for different components you can use in the game, different things you can put on your spaceships and stuff like this. And I'm not an expert on Star Citizen, so I had to watch quite a few of these videos just to kind of get what was going on. And from what it seems to me, and again, it's just what it seems to me, it's really kind of almost outrageous that a game that has taken up so much money so long, and you have to pay just to enter it, really. You have to, you know, buy your own little shit bundle and stuff, is then trying to charge people for every little bit that might mod their guns and things like this, mod their ships, and what that seems to be, as in with many games, is that it means you can buy extra benefits if you have the money to buy things that you won't be able to get in game. So if you're playing the game, so this is many games, if you're playing the game, you won't in the game be able to get the benefits that you can get if you spend money outside the game or in the game shop to buy these mods and bits and pieces you add on. So people who are willing to spend money will always be able to have a better experience and win. So that's why it's pay to win. And it's kind of outrageous in many games. It's not a thing I like at all. Of course, people have the right to spend money on what they want, but it's very kind of unfair to people that don't have a lot of money, which is me, for example. If you're in a game and someone, especially multiplayer online games, if someone comes in and they've just got enough money to spend for whatever reason, and they can just whoop you and do what they want because, you know, they can because they've got the money. That's fine if you can be in the game and you can, by grinding, maybe you can make the same kind of build and get the same equipment, although it's still a bit unfair because if they can just get it with money, it's still a bit unfair. But if you can't even get it in the game, then that's wrong to me, and that's just my opinion. But yeah, Star Citizen is a game that's, you know, it's I don't know, £800 million, I think, is what it's meant to have raised or cost so far. It's been going on for what, 12, 13 years. It's not released yet, and I don't think there's any noted release date. They raise millions every year, and it's kind of shocking to me. I mean, every part of it's shocking, and like I said, I'm not knocking the game, I'm not knocking you if you invested it. The game doesn't, the visual stand, I can't say gameplay because I not played it, but it looks great. But 800 million, with all the things that happen in the world and even in other games, 800 million for a game that's been 13 years in the making and not released, that is now possibly trying to go for a kind of pay to win. And when you get to the end of this game cycle, as with many games that have been in long development, we don't know what we're actually going to get. We can't be sure it'll ever actually released, no one knows, in full game. And then you'll end up with a kind of mismatch of a kind of multiplayer and a kind of pay to win. And as with many games that take so long in the development cycle, when they do get to release, either they're not quite what they expected, they've changed a lot during development, Veilguard is an example, there's many examples, or when they get to release, they actually become kind of a little bit more dated than we hoped, because other games and tech has kind of gone past them, because in that time frame of their development, which is in this case 13 odd years, then other techs, other games, other engines will have sort of surpassed that, other things you can do in games. So it's just something I wanted to say, and like I said, it's just something I noted. I'm not knocking Star Citizen per se, it's just the fact that it just strikes me as an incredible thing in the world that a game can, you know, it did before, that a game can have cost 800 million. It's not even a released in full game. It's taken 30 by these little packs and things if they want to really do well in the game to get into it. And now they're going to sell bits and pieces to make it a pay to win. So everything about it is just amazing. And I don't think there'll ever be another situation like a Star Citizen. I don't think there's ever going to be another game where people are going to willing to put up that much money for such a long development cycle for a game like this. But I think what it is with everything like this, where you've already invested, whether it's time or money, you've got to stick with it. So I get that, you know, if you started off, you know, 10 years ago, 13 years ago, you invested in Star Citizen, or you've been playing it for years, once you get into it, then you're invested in it. And I get that. Like I said, with Watch Dogs Legion, if it was the same development cycle and I'd started playing this and just say the game I'm in now was an early access, or it was not finished and it'd been in development 10 years, I'd still love the game and I would still follow the game anyway. So I get that. But again, Watch Dogs Legion's not pay to win, and Watch Dogs Legion didn't cost 800 million, and it has been released. So anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming. Like I said, at some point in the future I will do another video about gaming related news. It might be tomorrow, it might be next month, it just depends when I find something of interest. Anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time, take care for now.